Hi everyone, Darren Hunter here. In today's age, you can't just have boring photos on your property marketing listings. You've got to have a virtual walkthrough tour. That way, tenants can quickly qualify themselves and look through the property even at 2 in the morning online. But I can hear you say, look, Darren, it's too expensive with cameras and takes too long. That's why you've got to go to virtualtourscreator.com.au and check out how you can do walkthrough virtual tours using your mobile phone. Go and check it out. Also, talk to Tom there at virtualtourscreator.com.au on how you can quickly turn your tours into really cheap floor plans as well. Take care.
Hi, it's Deniz here from Inspired Grove Training, and we are here for the Grow 100 Expert Challenge. And we have got Mel and Pat here all the way from New Zealand, which is just like another state of Australia. Come on, let's be honest.
No.
Come on.
Don't even say.
It's that brother-sisterly love. Come on, the Anzacs, we've got the sport, we've got everything. You guys are just there with us as well, It's an amazing country. It's actually my favorite country outside of Australia. So I love traveling over there. It was my very first international travel for work as well, would you believe? New Zealand.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's got a little bit of a touch for home for me. But thank you for coming on board. You guys are certain experts in the real estate sector. Got some really good experience between both of you. And Mel, wow, you've got some great experience as well. Before we hook into this, right? Before we hook in, I need to know, are you guys coffee or tea drinkers?
100% coffee. That's not a question.
You're okay with that too, Pat?
Yeah. I've got my coffee right here.
Ah, nice.
We both got our coffees for this.
Yeah, I've got mine here as well. That's good. I also have
Cheers to that.
Coffee is important. That's right. Now, you do have a good coffee machine in your office as well.
We do. So we recently moved into a new office, and that was the prerequisite that had to happen. So we've got our own little coffee machine and coffee on tap.
No, that's nice. I'll be the judge of that when I come over to New Zealand, but that's okay. But you are part of like a shopping centre as well. So, I mean, if I walk away and I disappear, you know that I've gone looking for good coffee somewhere, okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Like, what did you do before real estate, Mel? Like, I'll start with you, ladies before gentlemen. Yeah. What did you do before you fell into real estate?
So real estate is all I know. I started in real estate at 16. I was straight out of school. I completed my sixth form year. I didn't go on to do seventh form, didn't feel a need for it. Wanted to go study, but I needed money to be able to go study. So I picked up a job at Harcourt's at 16 years old as their administrator. And then 6 months later, I was assistant property manager and so on and so forth. The wheels just kept turning.
Wow, that's a rare breed to actually have somebody like just go straight from school. And 16.
Yeah, I did try to get away. I tried to go do my studies when I was 21. So I went to go start a fine arts degree. Did it for 1 year. I just came running back. I realised it was an industry that I actually loved.
Yeah.
So I thought, why am I trying to chase something else that can be a hobby or a side business or whatever? And yeah, I came running back.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I would like to say that 95% of the people that we speak to, that where you're at a conference or whatever, they fell into real estate. And I even opened up, how did you fall into real estate? Because it's very, very common.
Yeah.
Now,
you think in school, I'm going to become a real estate agent or I'm going to become a property manager.
Yeah.
It often is something you fall into.
I mean, personally, as a male, when I was 15, 16, I was too young to make a decision what I was going to do for the rest of my life.
I was most independent. I was off my desire of the world.
Yeah. So, but it's good to know that, look, that we've had quite a few people on our podcasts on the various different channels that we've got that did jump straight into it, and it speaks volumes that they are experts, and we are coming across them a lot more commonly than the normal percentage, should we say. What about yourself, Pat? What did you do before real estate?
So I am an electrical engineer by qualification. So I actually went to uni and finished my engineering degree, and then I worked as an engineer for about 5 years. kind of hated every minute of it. The corporate world and traveling. I was in consulting engineering, so I had lots and lots of travel and not travel locally. It was all international.
Okay.
And I didn't quite like it at all. I didn't like the whole thing, so I wanted to get into something else, and I got into real estate.
Wow. I mean, electrical engineer to real estate. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the segue there.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm hitting a brick wall. It was so the electrical engineer, were you doing lighting and stuff? Like, what was that?
Yeah, I was doing lighting, building services, facilities management, but just from an electrical point of view.
Ah, okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah, I was in the property and buildings division in a few companies.
Okay, so for Mel, normally my next question is why. Like, you've already answered why, you got into real estate, or can you tell us? Can you remember that 16? Was it just a job at reception and then it moved up?
I applied for like 50 jobs. So whoever gave me a job, I was like, great. Happened to be that the Harcourt's office was even walking distance from my home.
Nice.
So I was like, I can walk to work. It's 9 to 5. They seem like nice people. Let's go. And they hired me based on personality. I mean, I had no skills. It was purely based on what came out of my mouth at the time. They're like, yep, let's do this.
She can talk, give her a job. Okay, so what about yourself, Pat? Like, why was it real estate then? Because like I said earlier, there's that segue. Where does that come together?
That's actually a good question. So I started investing in property even when I was working as an electrical engineer. And I really liked the whole property investment, and so I had a property manager at the time. So I really liked the whole real estate game. Being that I was making more money in real estate than I was in my full-time job. And I'm going, okay, so this is really something that I should look into. And then the 5-year mark was when I went, nah, I'm over engineering. I just don't want this. So by the time I'd moved 3 companies, and it was the same thing in every company. So I was like, no, I don't want engineering. And then I was seeing that I was making money in real estate, and I said, yeah, let's do this full time. And that's how I got into it.
Okay, so when you say you're making more money, can I ask, were you like flipping houses? Were you like buying and selling
houses, it? I was flipping houses. I bought a couple of buy and holds, and I was seeing the values were going up.
Yeah.
And that rents were going up. And so I was thinking, what am I doing sitting here in front of a computer?
Yeah, and was that in the Auckland market?
It was Auckland, yeah.
Okay, so Auckland market's, for anyone in Australia listening, it's similar to the Sydney market. There's a potential fast capital growth.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's that capital growth where the value of the house can go up quite significantly in 1 or 2 years. I mean, in the marketplace we're in at the moment, you can buy a house and sell it in a week and make profit. It's quite crazy.
But homes at the moment that inside 6 months you're talking about 200,000-300,000 capital increase just in 3 months.
Yep. And okay, so 200,000 or 300,000 to give it a bit of scope. Is that if you spend $1 million, you'd get that much? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, which is quite similar. Look, I was on the Gold Coast of not long ago, and a friend of mine purchased a house for $1.6 million. Big house on the water, like a man-made lake part. It's in 5 bedrooms, 2-story, absolutely stunning home. The house, I went to an auction only a few days ago. Small 3-bedroom. The garage had been turned into another bedroom/office. Small block, same views, everything. It sold for $80,000 less. Right. Wow. But the house, you would need to spend $400,000 on it.
Yeah, not even a patch on the other one.
There's not so it was close to the value. So the market is just jumping over. That's a roughly a 6 to 8 week period difference there. Yeah, crazy. The house should have sold for 1.3 if you're looking at the comparable of the 2 houses. It's just crazy. So yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's just that's just the marketplace at the moment. It's a rarity, and it's we're all waiting for things to stop, but who knows when it's going to stop? So, what's your buzz, Mel? You've been in real estate since 16, so about 10 years. Now, what keeps you going to work on a Monday? What's thing that really sparks you? I mean, I was competitive. I used to love beating the rival agents.
Yeah.
Like helping people and stuff as well. But what is it for you? What keeps you going back to work in real estate?
Definitely changed over the years as your career progresses. You go to work for different reasons. When I was a BDM, certainly it was that, the buzz of gaining the new business. Being a property manager, I used to love that no day was the same. It's very rare to have a job where you walk in the morning, you actually don't know what's going to happen for the day. And that's always something that intrigued me about the industry. Now it's very different. Granted, it's been a little bit more than 10 years. I'm a little bit older and wiser and a bit more relaxed, for lack of a better term. So for me now, it's actually about the team. It's about having a great business owner who I work with. And we work really well together. So we bounce ideas off each other really well, and we both listen to and respect each other. And that's really difficult to find as a general manager with a business owner, where you've got that real good flow between yourselves.
Yeah.
And then our team is honestly amazing. A lot of the team has been with me personally across a couple of companies for 10 years plus. So we've got those strong relationships that, we can be ourselves, we can be honest, we can be raw. And it's a really good family within our team. So it's actually the people I work with are what give me the buzz now.
Yeah.
And for us also, from our company's about 3 years old now. So from where it was when it first started to where it is now, there's great satisfaction in what we've actually achieved in that time and where we're going. So the foresight to the future as to what we've got planned is definitely a good buzz in that. So
Yeah. And you guys have got some big things coming. It's exciting watching what you guys have just done in, the 6 months we've been working together in the Grow 100.
It's been like this, but we're starting to feel like we're going like this now, so it's good.
Yep. I mean, there was some blockages that, were thrown at you from day one. Like from day one, I remember, you had a BDM quit and so be it. But that's fine. You guys have, like you talk about you guys working together. Michael and I often talk about how you bounce off each other in our training. And we'll sit there and watch, and it's great. It is good. So we do notice those things as well. What about yourself, Pat? What keeps you going? What's your buzz?
I think it's the same thing, but I think for me, it's more about seeing our clients grow. And we've had, in the last 3 years, we've had so many clients who've bought more properties, have become financially free, and they've grown their wealth. And we see that, and that creates a buzz for me. Because that creates purpose for us. It's not just about us collecting rent and paying them. There's really a purpose to this. And I think that's where it creates a buzz. So I had a call yesterday, a client of us who's been with me from day one. He's bought another property, and he told me that, obviously you're going to be managing it, and I'm only buying this because I have the confidence that you will be managing it and you will protect our asset. And I went, wow. So
that's awesome.
It's stories like that create the buzz for me. Of course, I agree with Mel. We've got a beautiful team. I think we've possibly got the best team in New Zealand by far. So
absolutely got the best team, guys, if you're watching this.
So Coach Deniz is about to step in and say you need to do a video on exactly what you just said. Your clients need to hear that. What you just said, that is awesome. And even get a video testimonial from that landlord that you're talking about. That is beautiful. That's selling business through experience right there. People are going to want to deal with you when they watch a video like that. So that's great. That really puts the hair up on my arms to hear that. That's really good. So what a buzz, and it really speaks volumes about the synergy you both have got listening to that, and why you're getting so much success as well, which is really good. So to move on, tell us a little bit about your office and your marketplace.
So we're a PM only office. So we do property management and property management only. So we've got multiple systems. We've got a pod-based system where we've got property managers working in mini teams, and we've also got independent PMs within our office. So we've got different PM systems. We manage properties all over Auckland and Hamilton, and we're able to do that because, quite strategically, our team lives in different parts of Auckland. So we're able to do that. I think that's really us.
Yeah, I think part of how we're able to do it too is because we've got such a good team who we really trust, we've really developed the whole work from home culture and cohesion with working from the office as well. So with the team being spread out, it's nothing for them to work from home in the morning, go off and do what they need to do in the afternoon and not pop into the office that day, and that's okay. And I think it's quite hard for a lot of business owners or managers to actually let go of sometimes, but once you give your staff the trust, if they're responding well to it, it's so much better for business.
Yeah, and look, let's be honest. In Australia and New Zealand, there's a lot more females in the industry. It's like just in the IGT inner circle, 76% of the people are female, right?
Yeah, that's surprising.
So, and now we've got a lot of American influence in there.
Like,
what was that? Sorry.
It's the attention to detail that men lack.
Yeah, it is. But the
An ability to multitask.
The multitasking. Look, I can breathe, eat, drink, smell, and walk at the same time. So that's 5 things.
Congratulations.
But you know, you're talking about like you know, adapting, working from home and stuff within your office, and that's great. And the reason why I'm talking about that percentage of the females is predominantly it's the female that's at home looking after the kids. So you've set your business up. There's a opportunity for, you know, mums to be able to work and still do the kids, work from home. A lot of people struggle working from home at first, but realistically, you're not getting interrupted by your team.
Yeah.
Okay, the kids might walk in and out every now and then, but I tell you what, a team member saying, hey, let's go get a coffee, or I've got some questions to ask you, I'm struggling with this, that takes up more time.
That's what we talk about quite often with ourselves and the team, about trying to find that balance, because you need your team culture. You need everyone in the office to be vibing off each other. But you also need times when they just all go away and leave you in peace to get on with it. My goal is to get 1 day from home a week. I'm not at that at the moment. I'm pretty much office full time, but I'd like to be able to just step away 1 day a week. Shut myself off.
Your office is also on a growth path at the moment too. So, you know,
exactly.
there's those seasons and changes. So how many doors are you managing at the moment?
We're heading towards about 450.
Wow, that's awesome. 450 properties.
Which is a rapid growth from where we were a few months ago.
Yeah, that's just brilliant. That's exciting to hear. So now, if you're to look at focusing on 1 to 2 areas of growth, and you wanted to grow that 100 properties in a 12-month period, what would those 2 key things be? You know, so we're talking about over a 12-month period, and this is quite fitting because you are part of the Grow 100 training at the moment, and we're throwing multiple strategies at you.
I highly recommend to anyone who's looking at furthering their business, get stuck into some IGT training with these guys and have them as your mentors, because it will change your business.
I appreciate that little plug there, and thank you for that. But so those, out of all of those multiples that we've sent you, and we're only halfway through the course, I only want you to choose 2.
Yeah.
So what would be the 2 key areas that you would focus on?
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I think for us as a business, what we did was we looked at our existing portfolio and we kind of data mined our current owners. And we realized that we've got close to about 200 properties that our current owners own that we don't manage.
It gave us a big fright. big fright.
Yeah, well, for we don't know what the reasons are, but the reasons could be that they just bought off a company and they are managing it, or our clients might think that we don't actually manage Hamilton when we do. So, but yeah, 200 properties there that we know, and we know the owner, we know the client. And so I think that was one of the big strategies that we're working on at the moment, trying to develop the relationship or seeing where we can get things going there.
Yeah, I recall that meeting when you told us, and I was licking my lips. It was like nudging Michael. Did you hear that? Like 200? That's nuts.
Yeah.
You know.
So we did that by data mining those owners. We literally put them into what our property database software is in New Zealand, where you can see the ownership records for every single property. Whack their names in there, and then we just started typing. So as those properties were coming up, we're like, right, you own another 4, you own another 2. This is where they are. And yeah, I was
amazing.
personally doing that data work, and oh my God, I just about died when I saw that. I felt a sense of failure, to be honest, that we didn't know that, and that was sitting there. If I did it all over again, it would have been the first thing I ever did.
Yeah.
If we had an investment portfolio, 100% the first thing I would ever do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And the thing is, those 200, however many owners that is, your current clients, and a lot of people, they forget about this, they're already raving fans. They may not be 100%, because Pat did bring up one of my pet hates of, they may have purchased it off the agent down the road, so they gave them the management. So and we haven't done the strategy with you guys yet, the investor support service one, but that's where we want to be dealing with those sales agents and investors prior to it, so we can then help influence the purchasers on getting those properties, even if they buy through another company. It's an education process. There's another educational video for you. You don't have to give the management to the company you buy off, right?
We should put one of those videos out, absolutely.
Look, your current clients are your raving fans, so it's keeping those phone calls up to date, and you guys have been doing all that, identifying the 200, which is great, and you have been converting them, which is awesome as well.
So once we identified those, we started building strategies around how we're going to get these managements, because it's not just a straightforward ask all the time. But we identified a few owners who we literally could just go and ask. We've got great relationships with them. They're our buddies as such. It was like, hey, why isn't this property with us? What's going on? Oh, my mate lives in it. I manage it myself, but go on, I'll give it to you then. Those kinds of people. Then there were ones where our relationship wasn't strong, and it was a case of working on and developing that relationship before going in for the kill. So I think naturally in any business, especially as you get larger, you've got owners who you're really dealing with all the time and who you've got that pally relationship with, and you know them. And I don't know if another business does this better than us and actually has that relationship with every single owner. But I feel there's always a portion where they're just kind of floating under the radar. Everything's going well. You're not talking to them as much. You just don't have that strong relationship. So it's those ones that we really wanted to focus on first, on strengthening that relationship, doing more phone calls, sending them gifts, congratulating them where need be. All the stuff that you guys rave on about to us about doing with current owners, and getting ourselves in a position that we can go in and get that business. What's interesting though, from doing all of that, is we've actually got a lot of referral business out of it. So not just from those current owners, but a lot of them are now starting to refer us more so than ever, because we're building those stronger relationships. We're front of mind a lot more. So yeah, it's been a great road from start to ongoing for us at the moment, actually doing that exercise.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's not necessarily, people think, oh, I made 10 phone calls to 10 current clients, but I got nothing. It's about 10 extra relationships that you're strengthening.
Yeah.
You may educate them in a phone call, compliment them on something or whatever it is. That's an emotional memory that they've now got with you, on something. Wow, they remembered it was my daughter's birthday. Oh, wow, that's really cool. They remembered I worked in accounting, and yes, there is changes. Whatever that phone call is, they remember. So, and you're becoming top of mind through emotion, not through memory.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant. It's you get far more experience, and you will get far more referrals through that way, which is great. So you guys are doing a great job of that as well. So what's your next strategy? So that's your current clients. What else would you focus on?
Actually, even with the current clients, we've seen that a lot of current clients know a lot of people. And so like Mel said, the referrals is probably the next strategy that we work on. So it's referrals through current clients. And I think we're sort of going current clients, but we're splitting that into multiple strategies. So there's current clients who own more properties. And so I spoke to one the other day. They said, oh yeah, I completely didn't realize that you manage that area. And so he gave it to us. So some was as straightforward as that. And some are, hey, I've got a mortgage broker who I'd like you to meet. And so I met him the other day. And so hopefully that relationship will convert into a business.
Yeah,
so
that's
clients referring us their team, which is either a mortgage broker or an accountant or whoever it might be. And so referral, I think, is an important strategy as well. And referral through current clients is a stronger one because there's already an established relationship there.
Something our BDM is actually doing really well. She's got a current client who's got 7 properties with us. She's now met the boyfriend who has another 10, 15 properties, I believe, and she's just met the father yesterday who has another 7 or 8. These people forget how many properties they own and what they actually own. They own so many properties. It's insane.
So from one listing to a potential 25.
It was actually a property that we managed and was being sold. And so we had a relationship with the agent who gave us the buyer's details.
Okay.
Our BDM approached the buyer, fell in love with our BDM. She said, "Yep, I will give you this. Oh, I've actually got 4 more. I'll give you that."
Oh, wait, one more.
Oh, wait, sorry, it wasn't 4 more, it was 5 more. So she gave us another one. And so she gave us 6 in total. And then her name's, so then she met her boyfriend who had a couple more. And then met the father who's got about 5, 7 or 8 more.
He doesn't actually know how many he owns. It's actually stupid. It's ridiculous.
So one thing led to another. That's about 15 properties right there.
Yeah. She's wining and dining, this woman. She's out having lunches and coffees and popping around to the home. And,
I'd be saying, here's my credit card, take him out for dinner.
She's got a company credit card. Our BDMs always have their own credit card to go crazy with spoiling their clients on whatever they need to. If it's going to mean more business and a stronger relationship. It's an important part of how she services her relationships is face-to-face. And, it depends on the person, but she often goes, picks them up a little gift, a little $10 gift and takes it along with her and goes, "Oh, here, I got you this. I thought you'd like it." So it's just personable stuff.
These are all the little plus ones that are being added to the relationship building, right? So that's really good. And a $10 gift is low value. It's low cost, high value.
Yeah.
It's that thought. That's really good. So well done. Wow, that's just that's current clients, referral partners as well, all in one. Speaks volumes about why you guys are getting some really good growth as well. So that's excellent. Yeah. So how many properties, so not how many properties, how many agencies would you typically be up against, like in your area? Your competitors.
So there's hundreds of agencies in Auckland, right? This is the largest city in New Zealand. But generally what happens is we're up against 1 or 2.
Okay.
So clients generally don't get more than 3 proposals we've seen from experience. And usually it's just a 1, but in some cases we've seen 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd say most of the time we're actually only up against 1 other agency. Normally it's a choice of 2, which is great. I mean, it's better that than being up against 3 or 4, as I know does happen in some locations. So for us, that's been quite good.
Yeah, brilliant. So your BDMs, when they're coming up against, a couple of the other agencies, if the owner, they're fighting for the management, obviously, what are your key points of differences that you've trained the team for them to push to ensure that you do stand out against those rivals?
So I think staff experience is probably one of the key points of differences. Like Mel mentioned earlier, most of our property managers have about at least 15 years of experience.
Yeah.
They've been with us from day one. So
that's a rare thing now in this industry.
It is.
So many property managers have got burnt out and left that there aren't actually a huge pool of experienced property managers left around now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's sad.
And even the ones that are around, they keep moving around quite a bit. Staff turnover in some of the other agencies we've seen has been a real worry. So our staff turnover is extremely low. All our property managers have been here from day one. They're very happy. So I think those 2 are probably the biggest points of differences. Being a PM only firm also helps to some extent. Not a tail and Charlie of a sales agency. And I think that people see value in that we focus on property management only. But yeah, I think amongst those 3, that's probably our biggest points of differences.
I'm going to add a very big one for you, okay?
I think our statistics speak for themselves. So our arrears and our vacancy are sitting at really, really good rates as far as the area and the industry standard goes.
Yeah. So you guys have got good proof.
Very poorly with the best, so I didn't want to repeat it.
Well, there's still a really big one. That's the elephant in the room. Is you've got the business owner sitting here, part of the property management division. That is a huge point of difference as well. You know, yes, we train on the proof statements, and you guys have got all of that. Longevity of staff is massive. That is massive. You know, that is huge. PM only is huge as well. So you've got some really key points to drive home. Some really strong videos there that you'll be able to do as well. Sorry, the coaching,
working on it.
the coaching just comes out. I do apologise. But, you know, so you do have some really strong, you know, points of differences there, which is great, you know. And a lot of, you know, businesses, they don't have a director in charge or business owner that's overseeing and part of the property management division. And not only part of it, actually working in it, being a BDM in it as well, you know. So that's really good.
A lot of them don't have a general manager either. There's unfortunately a number of companies out there where the staff aren't supported with guidance and direction and knowledge.
Yeah.
So I've often said to our BDM, you know, make sure you're telling people you've got what you've got in behind you as far as the whole team goes. So that is a strong point of difference.
That's right. And you two are the ones that are part of the growth. Like, you can have all your staff in our meetings if you want to, but it's you two that are driving it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going anywhere. If the BDM ups and quits, we don't stop the training. We keep going, and that's what's happened, you know, for you. So, and that is a big success behind it as well. So well done for that. So, okay, you're in the home. You've had 2 or 3 other, you know, BDMs or property managers at the property, and the client says, look, we love you. We think you guys are great. We understand that you might do a few things differently, but will you match the fee of the agent down the road?
It's so damn common, this question, and it irks me to no end. It really does. Look, case-by-case scenario, because depending on the personality type, you respond in different ways. If they're a business person, I'm a lot more direct with them about even the cost of employing good property managers. We can even get into those conversations. But generally I say to them first, look, if fees aren't, you know, if we're not looking at fees, are you happy with the service we're providing? And will you go with us if fees weren't an issue? So by doing that, we're overcoming any objections. If there's something that is irking them or they're not quite sure on, let's clear that first and make sure we are the best people for their property and that they agree with us on that. Then from there, it really comes down to, quite often I ask to see the other PMA, the other management authority. I ask if they've met with them. And it kind of flows on from there. We've got a PMA that is designed in such a way that we've got lots of add-on fees. We've got lots of fees that are quite high, which gives us some wiggle room. So we want them to leave feeling like they're winning. I know you're probably not asking this question, so expect someone to say, yes, we negotiate. But we do, but it's not hurting us to negotiate. We're actually giving them what is standard fees. So because we came up against that so much, we redesigned our whole management authority, all our fee structures and everything, so that we could achieve far higher fees than we ever have before, but still have the client walking away feeling like they got something.
Yeah.
Which culturally in our area seems to be something that appeals and happens to these people, or to our BDM as well.
Yeah, okay, well done. That's good. You guys are basically showing them that. Yeah, no, nothing needs to be edited out of that, or people can read the whole lot. That's you're actually showing them the extra value that you've got, you know, as a business, and sometimes it's that culture of people, like you said, they just ask for a discount because that's what they do. Now, how often is somebody asking you for a discount?
Quite often, I'd say.
For the BDM, pretty much every single time.
Yeah. Okay.
For myself, not as often. And look, there are cultural differences between our team. I mean, I don't know if it's relevant in other marketplaces or not, but Auckland is very culturally diverse. And there's different habits in purchasing or purchasing a service amongst those different cultures. So yeah, we have sort of different strategies based on who the client is that we're meeting with.
That's right. And you've got BDMs that are targeting certain clients as well, so you can adapt to that. So that's what's really good as well. Okay, so my next question. We have so many people that are looking to get into the industry, watching our podcasts, listening in on our podcasts.
Great, send it our way. We're ready.
Well, you could look at this as a prospecting tool, right? But, you know, what words of wisdom have you got for anyone that's thinking about joining the industry?
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, what worked for me was just getting stuck into every facet of the industry possible. Especially if you're young when you're starting, you know, do the admin stuff, do the back end stuff, and just observe what's going on in the office. Listen to the phone conversations. Listen to the moaning that goes on after that phone conversation, and just be a sponge and absorb it all in. If you can get your hands into every part of the business, do some accounts work, do some admin work, do some support work, and obviously go on to do BDM and property management work as well, you become an asset. You become a true asset to any company you work for. So yeah, to me, it's learn as much as possible and don't be fussy, you know, don't let your head get in the way. Just get stuck in and take it all on board.
Yeah, some people can let their emotions get in the way of decisions and things, can't they? But that's good advice, because you throw yourself into everything, all of a sudden you'll see what you're drawn to the most, and then what you want to specialize in, right? So that's really good advice. Yeah.
We just hired an admin person who's new to the industry, and this is exactly what we've done with him as well. So we've done a little bit of admin work with him, support, and then now he's done some viewings for us. So
he did a lot of accounts work as well.
He's done a lot of accounts work. He's doing viewings for us. He's processed some applications. So we are actually putting him in a little bit of everything, and he can decide where he wants to land up, and if he wants to be an assistant property manager or a letting agent or get into accounts or admin. Yeah, so I think that's really probably the best way for a newcomer to do is absorb, learn, experience a little bit of everything and see what you like. And
understand the business as a whole, because there's a lot that goes into a property management business. So once you can holistically see how it all churns.
I can resonate with that. I mean, I started as leasing. I had no idea about real estate. I thought the sales team managed the properties, right? That was, you know, I was a pure outsider who sold fruit and vegetables and fell into real estate. And I was 2 weeks in the industry, and I did leasing, I did the arrears, and I did maintenance, right? And I also did, if a new client was signed up, I was the one entering him into the system, and I'd enter the new tenant details in. And my offsite, Nicole, did ingoings, outgoings, routines, and I thought that's great. And I looked at my boss, her name was Carol, and I said, Carol, what's left in property management? What do you do? That's how oblivious I was. I know there's so much to do, but I thought, you know, and so that's really good advice, to get around, do everything, look at all of the extra works that had to be done. It was that conversation where I found out she went to people's houses and she was competing against rivals. And that's when I went, okay, that's what I want to do. You know, that's how I learned what a BDM was. Not that we called it a BDM back in 2008, but, you know.
What did you call it?
Well, she was just the head of department, and that was her job, to go to people's houses. It was just, she was the property manager that went. That wasn't classed as a BDM back then. You know, no one knew what a BDM was in 2008.
Do we ever thank for the fact that we do now?
Well, okay, it's a good question. So within the industry, it's fine to call it a BDM, but how many clients ring up and say, "Can I speak to the BDM?"
Yeah.
So why have BDM on a website? Why have it on a business card? It should be new client consultant, or, you know, So
very true.
Yes, I like the name. I think it's a cool name, but you've got to dumb things down for the outsiders. Yeah. Okay. So last question. Inspired Growth Training. We have a conference every year when we can. We have. Yeah, it's in October, so you guys will be able to make it.
Awesome.
We have the top BDMs. We have people that are serious and hungry for growth. We have property managers, leasing agents. They are hungry. They're coming together. They're in a room and they're hyped up. They're ready to go. And I fall sick and I tap you guys both on the shoulder and say, I can't close the conference. You've got 2 minutes. What's your advice?
Can you not do that, please? I'm not a public speaker. Don't ever do that.
I'm
Worst
falling
nightmare right there.
out.
Oh my God.
What advice have you got in closing out the conference?
I call Darren.
No, Darren, he's good, but he's not a closer of a conference, okay?
Look, closing a conference. Oh, see, I feel nervous now just thinking about it. Okay, I would say something really simple, and it's going to be really lackluster, but focus on business development, because what you focus on, you achieve. So have daily conversations with your BDM, with your team about what's happening, about growth, where we want to get to. You know, we have 2 strategy meetings a week with our business development team about what current clients are getting signed up this week, who are we working on, who do we need to give more attention to. And it's a constant laser focus on it. Because of that laser focus, we're achieving it.
Well done.
Full well from previous history in the industry, if you're not focused on it, you don't do it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And that's why we are IGT members and learning from you guys, because it's our focus. So yeah. Closing speech would be very simple.
I think it's also creating
Pat, over to you.
I think it's also creating a full growth culture within the entire team, and not just for the BDM. Obviously, yeah, the BDM will be getting the business, but I think it's making sure that everyone knows that we are focused on growth. The property managers, even, they might be managing a few properties, but they should still be focused on growth and getting another property from the current owner or whatever it is. So I think creating that growth culture is important. And if you do that, you will achieve wonders.
And having the team excited for growth.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes property managers are like, oh no, don't want more properties, go away, you know. But all our team are on board. They understand what comes with growth, what comes with the company for growth, and what we're going to look like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, and what we're working towards. I think, you know, actually being able to share that with the team and having everyone inclusive in those conversations is really important, because they feel valued.
Yeah.
They're part of the future of the business, they feel valued. So
that's awesome. Well done. Great advice in closing out the conference. I appreciate that. I'll send off that email to you, that you'll be doing the close. Thank you again for coming on board with the Grow 100 Expert Challenge. You both are, a shining light to the course that we're doing. It's awesome having you on board. And, thanks again for being on board with us here for our latest podcast and book. Thank you.
Look, likewise, thank you for your guidance and support. It really has got us on track and on the path that we need to go. And that's totally thanks to you guys kind of leading us from the front.
Yeah.
And we're just going, yep. Okay, let's go. So yeah, it's been good. We've been laughing.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, and take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.